Hold on, think again. Don't you know what you're studying? But should we get the clue how that this will go? Don't you know? No more art. And as I look to the horizon, not that round, but then stormy weather's go to cold. Seems like it brings up out of nowhere. All the mess you was not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You say that my mind is the best one.
Holy shit, bro. Oh man. Yo, I'd have a good laugh, man. That shit was fucking hilarious. Yo, these dudes is fucking clowns. Yo, they be on that persona shit heavy, man. They out there doing, I don't even know what the fuck that shit is, but they dancing hard as shit. Oh man, that shit be crying, bro. Yo, the first time I seen that shit, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Live Wire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and just holler at y'all, say what's up, and talk about interesting topic: gameplay versus narrative. I know we've spoken about this before, but in light of me listening to Rand's advice and taking a chance on an indie known as Eden Finch, and I beat it last night. I just wanted to kind of talk about the whole gameplay versus narrative discussion that's gone on, and it's usually heavy between the Xbox camp and the PlayStation camp because during especially when PlayStation didn't have many exclusives, and some of their exclusives are included in this list of kind of like the whole walking simulator type. Like even Hellblade is half hack and slash, half walking simulator. What's the hell that game? The Order was a bit of a walking simulator. Even Uncharted had its moments of being a walking simulator. And what I find is that those games tend to, even though you're not really doing much in them, it's still kind of looked upon as being good games because of the narrative. And then that leads me back to What Remains of Eden Finch. I played this game, bloviated about how great the game was, so I had to try it out. I passed on Candleman because it was 2 games. It was $10. So you know what? I bought a lot of games this holiday, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna spend the extra $10. I'm gonna choose which one I get. This Candleman that's $10, or this What Remains of Eden Finch that's $10. What will I choose? And Rand had it high on his list, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a walking simulator, but maybe something special about it. And I took a shot on it. And what I will say about the game is it has an interesting story. It's basically about this boy that whole family died, but you're like playing the whole story from the mother's narrative and shit. So at first you think it's a girl, but the whole time, but it's not. It's really the kid that she has at the very end that pops out her vagina at the very end. But basically you just walk through the house and like everybody died at the house. This shit is fucking weird, man. It's just a crazy ass story. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But it's kind of fucking boring, man. You're really not doing shit. I mean, it does have some gameplay elements, but they're very few. And in the beginning, you don't really do much of anything as far as gameplay. I mean, you unlock a door here. Yo, what's going on, Flip? You kind of walk around there, but to be honest, you don't really do much. Like, in Eden Finch, other than like it's basically like a book. You're just walking through like this person's diary, and that's basically kind of how that game is set up. And that's the thing. I think that with Xbox because they don't have too many exclusives like that, they tend to get frowned upon when you don't have narrative heavy games. Like, let's be honest, like if like all right, I played the game Edith Finch. It was okay, right? But I'm playing that shit in a party with a lot of other people, so I'm into the story, but I'm not like, I don't got all, I'm not by myself, like just listening to the game. Like I'm talking to people and shit, watching the shit. I'm multitasking. So I'm talking to them, playing the game, I'm fucking checking the stats of what's going on with the Boston Celtics versus the Houston Rockets. I'm doing shit like I do with all games I play. Same thing. No different. I didn't treat that game any different than I would treat Evil Within, Assassin's Creed, any of those games. But it was just like, you're just walking around. You're not really playing much of anything. It's really just a walking book. So I mean, as I guess for what it is, and based of like, if you're just judging what remains of Eden Finch against every other game similar to it, what the fuck? I swear. Hold on. Every time. Every fucking time. Hello. Hello. Goodbye. Every fucking time. Every motherfucking time. I gotta go get my clothes out the laundry in a second. So if you hear some beeping and I walk off, that's because gotta go get these clothes, man. But yeah, man. I mean, I'll say at the end of the day, the game was fine. I only paid $10 for it, so I don't feel completely cheated on. I just wish I kind of chose Candleman instead, because I think I would actually still be playing it right now. You know what? To be honest, I mean, you know what? If you have a choice between Eden Finch and Little Nightmares, I tell you to go to Little Nightmares all day. Like, Little Nightmares is a far better game than that game. Like, straight up. And it's not a narrative heavy game. Everything's kind of narrative implied in Little Nightmares. Like, I don't think there's any talking to Little Nightmares, to be honest. But it's just a better game, bro. It's just straight up better game. Like, so I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, and I think that's what was cool for gaming. I think that it's cool that we have all our own opinions, and we can voice those. But I just think that everybody in the media kind of gravitating towards the whole everything. It's like narrative or bust. Because if you look at the games that really get a lot of praise, is because of the narrative. It's never really because of the gameplay alone. Look at The Last Guardian. It's I don't know, it's not really it's a puzzle adventure or whatever, but it's all about the narrative of what's going on in that story with the relationship between the dog bird and the boy, right? And a lot of people gave that game high scores. Even though it was glitchy and had all the issues and blah 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 blah, high scores, right? And it just seems that we're kind of getting away from the whole gameplay thing. Like, how does the game play? I mean, I know a lot of people want to shit on PUBG, but at the end of the day, there's mad ways to play that game. Like, there's no one way to like that. Playing PUBG, you could either kill people to win, or you could hide your ass off to win. It's up to you. You don't have to kill anybody to win a chicken dinner in PUBG. Don't. If you watch the hype zone enough, you'll see some people. Most of the people that do win PUBG don't necessarily have a ton of kills. You do have dudes out there that are like a straight up beast and then killed like 13 people in one. But then you also have people that may have one or no kills at all that are winning chicken dinners. It's just based on like what your preferred play style is. Usually people that are winning aren't trying to snipe people from across the map, because that draws undue attention to yourself. So while you're shooting at this guy, unless you got the ability to get one hit quitters, which is really hard on console because it ain't mouse and keyboard, so it ain't no guarantee that you're gonna hit them. It's just real risky. But yeah, I think that you got games like, let's say, Until Dawn. That's a narrative game, right? That's that. I don't know, man, because you know what? Until Dawn got a decent amount of praise. I think it was an 8 or whatever, and it got praised for being a narrative-based game. But then Quantum Break which was also a narrative-based game, kind of got shitted on by the media. Not completely. I mean, they still got like a 70 or whatever, but it kind of got shitted on. And the thing is like, yeah, you have your little decisions here and there, but it seems like, a game like Until Dawn, which has little to no gameplay other than actually making decisions, was looked at a lot higher than a game where you actually had gameplay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think people just pick and choose. Like it's like with certain PlayStation games, they kind of grade them against their genre, and with Xbox games, they kind of grade it against all games that are coming out. Like, all right, does it have good gameplay? Does it have a narrative? We're grading you against everything. Whereas PS4 games kind of just get graded against whatever else that falls into that space. I don't know. I mean, at least that's the way I look at it and the way I feel about it. I mean, because even with a game like Halo Wars, I thought that had a good narrative, but in that case, it didn't matter. It was more about like, what about the fully expanded gameplay of the RTS. Like, it's not on the scale of like a PC, but yet this is a PC and console RTS. There's no other PC console RTS this generation to really compare it to. So to really kind of grade it low seems kind of, weird, because you really have nothing else to grade it to. You feel me? Like, I could understand if there was a bunch of other, console RTSs, because, and the only reason why I say that is because they grade it on Windows and on Xbox, not just Xbox, and they graded it low. The story was great, the gameplay was challenging, but it's not like is it challenging on the same level of a typical RTS? No, because it's made for console. Like, you don't have a fucking mouse and keyboard at your disposal to really do all the shit that you would typically do on a PC. So, and maybe the PC gamers felt like it should have had more, more of those elements available. I don't know, but I just think that it seems like Xbox always gets graded slightly harsher than what they should be. He said all they says is mediocre. I felt it was a solid game, man. I liked it, to be honest. I mean, I beat the shit twice. I mean, I don't know. To me, the Horizon Zero Dawn is mediocre. To be honest, it looks better by far. Horizon Zero Dawn is a better looking game than Quantum Break. It's not even a fucking question. But story wise, that shit is garbage. I did exactly what the PlayStation guys told me to do. They were like, yo, you gotta fucking, if you don't, or what did the kid say? He was like, oh, because he's trying to get me to watch Persona. I only could do 15 minutes of watching Persona. That shit is trash. But and it's kind of like anime, so it wasn't. It didn't matter what they fucking talk about. I don't like anime. I just don't. But with Horizon Zero Dawn, I watched that shit. Right. I've watched the story parts of Uncharted, played The Last of Us. You know what I mean? Like, like The Last of Us is dope. I give him that. I mean, it's like it's a better story told, somewhat similar to, Tomb Raider and Uncharted with the throwing of the bottles and shooting and shit. But it's not really about gunplay though, because everything is like way more. You gotta conserve your ammo and shit like that. I mean, it's kind of like what's that game? State of Decay, but you don't have as many restrictions as far as like ammunition. Like State of Decay, you can't really be going on running around popping off and shit. You know what I mean? Like there's no guarantee you're gonna get bullets again, and you're still in that same space. So once you gut a place, it's gutted. Like you're not coming back and then magically bullets appear under a box. Like it's not happening. Like that shit is gone. So I don't know, man. I mean, when you look at Uncharted, you look at The Last of Us, I give those games is, they got their narrative, they got their gameplay. Quantum Break has their gameplay. Could it have more? Sure. Absolutely. Quantum Break could have had more. I'm not saying it's supposed to be like this great, like, oh, it's the greatest game ever. No. But do I think it should have got higher than what it got? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Because if you look at what other games similar to it got, it just seems like it seems like it got low scores because of mainly people give it low scores because of the added on the movie and shit, like the TV show. Seemed like, all right, like people used to complain about like, oh, I can't skip it. Like, what the fuck? Like, yo, it tells you right when you get to that point, it says, look, you have the option. You can skip this whole shit. But they act like, oh no, I can't skip it. I mean, I do see the main issue I had with Quantum Break more than anything was the fact that it didn't have like a New York Minute mode similar to like what Max Payne had, where you could just go in and just fight a bunch of bosses over and over again. Like to me, that's where, or it didn't have a section like that where you always had a finite amount of enemies. So it should have had a section where you go in and you basically had to get from point A to point B, and there's going to be wave upon the wave of enemies coming at you in the game, right? If they had that and had more sections like that, I think the game, one, it would have been more challenging, and then you would have felt like you had to, upgrade your character more. I mean, because some people didn't upgrade. I mean, you don't have to upgrade your character to really get through the game, even when it's on its hardest difficulty. You can just figure a way around it. Like most games, you can, shit. In Cuphead, I didn't really start upgrading my character until like damn near I got to the second island and shit. That's when I really started like, all right, I need to fucking upgrade this shit. But for Quantum Break, I mean, it's some little shit that they could have done better, similar to Sunset Overdrive. I thought Sunset Overdrive, great game, but they needed campaign co-op. You know what I mean? Like they really needed that shit. I mean, to me, it's very similar to Dead Rising. I mean, you're fighting zombie-like creatures. You don't have vehicles, so everything is about traversal. But if you could have done that with a partner, shit would have been better, man. It just would have. But I think that me being all about gameplay, like how a game plays, like Wolfenstein is fun. It doesn't matter if I'm listening. I can have the story on mute, right? Still a fun story. To me, that's what games are all about. Like when I grew up playing games, if you were reading on the screen, that's the fucking narrative. I shouldn't have to, I should be able to kind of pick and choose how I want to play. Like you can't play these walking simulators without listening to what's going on. It's literally impossible to do. You basically have to be shut off from whatever you're doing. You can't, and you just gotta just focus on the game. Like to me, like that doesn't fit everybody's play style. Like if I like gaming with my friends, why the fuck am I gonna only play in this one manner? I'm just saying, man. I don't know, man. I just don't I don't find narrative to be should be the only thing people focus on, especially seems like that's all they focus on right now. God damn it. Hold up. I'll be back. I gotta get this shit real quick. I think I'm gonna order me a pizza. Ain't no lie, your boy hungry as fuck. I'm out there. I had to grab some shit. Anyway, man. Like I said, man, the narrative. To me, like this thing with gameplay, like the reason why Cuphead's great, it ain't because the narrative. Narrative's cool. What is the fucking gameplay? The reason why you got games like Gears, Halo, Forza. Why are they good? Forza ain't got no damn narrative. It's a fucking racing game. You beat the motherfucker next to you. It's all about the gameplay. That's what the main thing about gaming has always been. You know, I'm not saying we shouldn't have these narrative-based games. I'm just saying I don't see why they should be put on a pedestal next to games that are at least that have gameplay focus as their priority, or have the balance of having both. To me, it should be a game that has narrative and gameplay. That should be at the top. A game that has just gameplay should be at number. Well, you know what? I don't even know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say just having gameplay should be at a second tier, because it depends on how good the gameplay is. You know, to me, a game that's all story and no gameplay is just a fucking, it's an audio book or a visual audio book, if you want to say. You're basically watching a movie where you're just making decisions. Like, to me, that's not really, it's not really a true game. I mean, that'd be like if you know what narrative main focus games remind me of. It's like if somebody came up today and was like, you know what? we're gonna make the spelling bee an official sport. Like you notice that the spelling bee is always on ESPN, right? Because it's a competition. I get it, but it's not really a sport. Like, let's be honest. Nobody's going to a fucking spelling bee except for motherfuckers that those kids belong to. That's it. I would never go to no spelling bee. Just to go to a spelling bee? Fuck that. Who the fuck would want to do that shit? Unless you the teacher or you the freaking parents of the kids. Who the fuck wants to just go to a fucking spelling bee? That, to me, that's what that narrative shit is. You know? It's like, all right, the story's cool, you know, but you gotta give me more than just, you know, just watching, playing the story. I don't see the point in it. Why not just make it a fucking movie and call it a day? It's not really a game, and I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wilding. Maybe I'm wilding because I'm not a big fan of these solely narrative based games. I'm not saying everything should be multiplayer, but I'm just saying that the game should at least, you know, have more gameplay than what they be throwing in these games, man. Like I said, to me, some of these games, they don't even fucking try. It's just all narrative. Like, you just basically, you walk and you talk. Like, I'm gonna walk over here and I'm gonna talk to this guy. Yeah. Like, there's no puzzle to be solved or nothing like that. Like, no, I'm thinking about, all right, I played that Eat and Finch game. They won the goddamn puzzle in that bitch. I'll tell you exactly what I had to do. First thing I had to do was walk up a tree as a fucking cat. And I'm just talking about the gameplay elements, right? You walk around and shit. I had to walk up this tree to be a cat. That turned into a fucking owl. I had to catch a rabbit. Then I fucking turned into a shark. I guess it's because, like, I don't know. They gave this little kid drugs. She was tripping. I don't know why the fuck I had to do all this wild shit, but this is what the game had me do. So, like, I'm in the story, and the kid is reading another kid's diary about some shit that they dreamed about or whatever the fuck, right? So they turn into a cat, turn into an owl, turn into a shark, and turn into, like, some fucking slug monster or whatever the fuck it was. And then you come back and you turn back into a kid, all right? Back into the story that it was in. Like, but there's certain, like, and I'm not going to shit on the game, like, say it's trash, because not. The game is actually cool for what it is. I'm just saying that it's kind of boring because it wasn't really no gameplay in the motherfucker. That's what my issue is. You know, they had sections where you did a lot of, like, you would go to different shit and see different shit. Like, you had this one section, you're like in a comic book, because I guess that's the way the story was told. You know, it was just basically like the story of, like, this person that died in the house was rewritten in a comic book. But at the end of the day, it's really no gameplay, and I'm just watching them read me a comic book. Feel me? Like, that's really what it is. What is that? You said, who's that? Wait, what happened? I missed that. It says It says philosopher anime is different now. I come from Ninja Scrolls. Yeah, well, that shit. That's Vampire D, Hunter D. Yeah, that's not, you sound like you be on the same shit my brother be on. The same shit. He says Livewire over there washes his drugs and his skinny jeans. Yeah, man, you know, I be on that shit. And listen till he got back on the mic like, you don't know what's going on. It says multiplayer. Microsoft is known for multiplayer console. Yeah, I mean that's why we bought it. To be honest, I didn't really play multiplayer. Well, no, that's not true, because I did play it. Well, shit, if you think about it, yeah, I've been playing multiplayer. I probably played multiplayer most when the Nintendo came out, to be honest. Other than, like, you know, sports games you play against your friend. But I'm talking about real multiplayer. like you're playing against, it's a group of y'all. Like that really didn't come about until at least GoldenEye. And then after that, it was really Xbox. When we used to link up the Xboxes and play like Halo and shit. That's when we really began it popping. And so what Bam say? Said hit that like button. Fuck that that guy live. Who's that guy? Let's see. Says Cyrus Burke. Y'all remember those old ass point and click games from the 90s? Like put the travel through the time and Pajama Sam. Yeah, and you know what? Like those games, like to me, like I said, there's nothing wrong with those games. I just think that the way cats be putting that shit on a pedestal, like it should be like this shit to play, it's kind of like ridiculous to me in ways, Like especially when you're playing it against games that you actually have gameplay. Like to be honest, man, like on some real shit, on some real shit. If I was at the store, right, and a motherfucker told me, it's like, what you trying to buy? Yo, I'm about to buy this. I'm about to buy Quantum Break. I would take it back to what All Day said. I'm about to buy Quantum Break. You'd be like, nah, fuck that, man. Don't buy Quantum Break. That shit got a 77 on Metacritic. Or, yeah, 77 on Metacritic. What you need to get is What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, that shit is popping. Look at the score, bro. It got 90s. I'm be like, hold up. You take that shit home and you realize all you're doing is walking around reading a story and then that bitch is over in 2 hours? Where you could have been actually playing a game for like 8 to however many hours, depending on how long it take you to beat Quantum Break. Come on, man. Come on. Like, who are we kidding right now? Like, because let's be honest, what remains of Edith Finch? Hold on, let me see. That shit, I'm pretty sure that shit got high scores on. Because it showed it having high scores on fucking Metacritic. There it goes. This is for Xbox, PS4. On Xbox, they gave it a 92. PS4, they gave it an 88. PC, they gave it an 89. This shit's fucking high, bro. For a 2-hour game, bro, that costs 20 some odd dollars. That's kind of fucking high, yo. You know what? I'm not even gonna go to Quantum Break. Let's see what Cuphead got first. Cuphead got an 88, 86. No way in hell Cuphead should have the same score as What Remains of Edith Finch, or even more close. This is an actual fucking game. This shit, it'll at least take you a couple of days to beat. What Remains of Edith Finch is a one-time playthrough. Like, this shit is not even comparable. And they cost the fucking same. Well, no, actually, Cuphead was $10 more. Was it? I'm trying to remember. Was Cuphead? I think it was $30, right? It wasn't night. No, I don't know. Wait, hold up. I can't remember, man. It might have been. Fuck. I don't know if it's gonna show me the price because I already bought this shit. Let me see if I can. All right. So it is $20. So yeah, same fucking price. The game is the same fucking price as What Remains of Edith Finch. When it's normally like they're both normally $20. Right now, Edith Finch is on sale for like $10. Cuphead's on sale for $16. Right? Can I? Yeah, I can do that. Now just stream it. But let me see. No, continue, man. Yes, what the fuck? Mouse, come back. Why the fuck is it? Oh, it's not coming down. All right, there we go. I ain't fucking with this shit right now. You know what? Fuck that. Close this shit. I gotta talk to Bone about working with this Cody shit, man. I've been looking at that shit for the last 30 minutes to an hour, and I just said, fuck it, I give up. Damn, what was I trying to get to? Oh yeah, so the Eden Finch shit. Did I even put this shit up here? I'm taking this shit. Wait. I thought this shit was gonna take me a long time, so I pinned this bitch to my fucking shit. Man, this shit's going. You know what? I'm not gonna talk. I'll let y'all see what the fuck this shit look like. You just walk around and shit. There ain't much nothing to it, to be honest. Like, you just don't get me wrong. There's some aspects of it, like it's cool to see how they did this house. Like this house was wild, man. Like some damn near living in a tree type house type shit. Like they got a house and they just built attachments onto that bitch. And all these secret passageways and shit. That shit was cool. I mean, I wouldn't want a real house like that, but you know, as a kid, I can see how that shit would be hot. Like as a fucking adult buying a house like that, that shit looks like a fucking mess. Like I don't know who will go out there with and be like, you know what, I want this house. Number one, they had some shit in there. I was like, man, this shit's dangerous as fuck. Who the hell would let their kids just fucking like live like this? Like this shit is crazy. Oh, it just starts over. I ain't playing that much anymore. Like to me, yeah, it's like straight up, this shit plays like a fucking book, yo. Well, I can't really do shit here. They don't really give you indicators here either, man. You like I straight like you would think, be like, oh, hold this button, whatever. Nah, you just have to press shit and hopefully it works. But yeah, this shit is like the first, I say a couple minutes of this game, maybe 20, 30 minutes. This should be a bit slow. I fell asleep hard as fuck playing this shit.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half.
Like you see that where they just have the text. That's kind of like, you know, they do that shit throughout the game. I mean, it looks solid enough. Like graphically, it looks alright. You know.
I hadn't been back. My brother Lewis is here.
But I ain't about to play this shit. Like right now, I'm fucking with pretty much PUBG, Evil Within, Wolfenstein Mafia 3. It's on occasion I'll play Ghost Recon, Forza, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I played a little bit of Resident Evil, but those are pretty much the main few games that I'm playing right now. But yeah, man. I mean, let me see. Do I have any? Like, I don't really know if I have too many games that are just straight up narrative. I don't know. I have to look. Let me see. All right, so let me go up. This is a good game, Arrow. But see, this is all gameplay, no fucking narrative. Gameplay. This is this has a bit of a narrative, but it's basically like a puzzle, open world puzzle platformer in ways. Um, Alan Wake, obviously, it's a narrative and a gameplay game. Same thing with American Nightmare. Same thing with Aliens. It has a narrative, but it's a lot of gameplay. Arc, all gameplay. Assassin's Creed, narrative gameplay. Back to the Future, I haven't played it, but it is a Telltale game, so more than likely it's a narrative and very little gameplay. Same thing with Batman. Same with Batman. This one I haven't started yet. Batman again, narrative with a lot of gameplay. Battlefield, small narrative, a lot of gameplay. Bayonetta, haven't played it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a small narrative, tons of gameplay. Same, Bioshock, half and half. Borderlands, I don't fucking know because I never played Borderlands. But I know it's a lot of gameplay in it, so I don't know how much that narrative is, but I know there's a lot of gameplay, so I haven't played neither one of these bitches. Oh shit. What remain? No, not what remains. Child of Eden. That's I mean, it should be a Connect game, but you know, they don't. Whatever they don't. It's not compatible with the Xbox One X. Xbox One Connect. So therefore, you can't really play Connect games from 360 on the Xbox One. Obviously, Cuphead made the gameplay, Dead Central gameplay, Dead Rising, small narrative gameplay. Same thing with Dead Rising 4, even though it has a little bit more narrative, but still, it's about the same because they gained more main narrative, but then they lost some narrative with the little side guys. So I don't know. Dead Space, great game, strong narrative, lots of gameplay. Deadfall, I don't really fucking know. I played like 5 seconds of this game and stopped. Destiny, small narrative, lots of gameplay. Deus Ex, a lot of narrative, a lot of gameplay. Devil May Cry, decent sized narrative, a lot of gameplay. Doom, damn near no narrative, lots of gameplay. uh, Dragon, Dragon Age Inquisition, a lot of narrative, a lot of gameplay. DuckTales, pretty much all gameplay. Fable, a lot of narrative, not a gameplay. Forza, all gameplay, all gameplay, all gameplay. Through pretty much gameplay. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck narrative. Actually, Fru's kind of fun. I'm gonna turn this shit on. I play this shit with my wife, but she can't really play it now because she usually be doing her yoga poses, so I could like jump around and shit. But it's just kind of fun, y'all. It's like one of the few. Uh, okay. You can't use the Connect. Okay. So it doesn't allow you to stream Connect games, so I gotta get out of there. Not too bad. It's actually a really good game though. Like it looks decent enough, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? I might actually put it on. I'll do one of my little streams later on tonight and do it that way. But let me close this out so I can get back on my stream though. Let me see. Let me see. No man, go back. What the fuck are you doing? I gotta put some more. Let me put Phantom Dust on. I was playing this shit online, man. I was kicking ass. The dude quit it. He was being a punk. But what the fuck, man? Put my shit on. Wow. It goes back. What the Phantom Dust, bitch? Okay. No, not. All right, fucking stop streaming, then start streaming. Okay, there we go. Yeah, man. But actually, you know what? I'll go back to what I was saying before. Continue. I'll jump on that in a second. And what else do we have in here on this list? You know, this is. I mean, this is all the games that don't exist on Xbox. I just want y'all to know that because Xbox has no games. So these are imaginary games that don't exist. All right, Game of Thrones, another Telltale game. All all narrative. Really, no gameplay. Really. Gears, we all know some narrative, lots of gameplay for pretty much all of them. That's pretty much how Gears goes. The what? This Twisted. What the fuck is this? Twisted Dreams. This is I mean, it's pretty much it's old school, so it's all pretty much gameplay. The narrative is very small in there. Obviously, this is gigantic. Is on. I don't even know if this shit still works, to be honest. And I'm not going to turn on to find out because I just don't care. But it was okay. Like, it was an okay game. Like I don't like to me, it played too much like a PC game, if that makes sense. Like it didn't feel like a console game. It felt like a PC game that just ran on console. Goat Simulator, we know that ain't got no damn narrative. We know what Grand Theft Auto is. Guitar Hero, no narrative. Halo, it's you have your narrative and gameplay. Same thing for pretty much all of them. Hitman's mostly gameplay, not really a narrative, to be honest. I'm trying to think. I think only Hitman Absolution was it that had a real narrative for me to even really think about. Because most of the time, Hitman, you just run around killing people. It's just like this is your contract, you go kill them. That's pretty much what Hitman is. It's not like I think the Absolution one. I think that's the name of it. Like went into his story and kind of like they actually had a story for the Hitman, um, other than you just straight up killing people just because Inside has it's a story game. I'm gonna say it. I mean, maybe not narrative like somebody just telling you the story, but it's implied. Let me see. Just Dance. Obviously, it's a fucking dancing game, so there's no narrative here. Cameo, obviously, it's RPG. So yeah, it's a narrative. Very little narrative in Killer Instinct. No narrative in Connect Sports Rivals. Actually, I might want to play that bowling later. No narrative. I mean, Layers of Fear has a narrative. Little Nightmares. Actually, to be honest, Little Nightmares should have been higher. And I think it's a better game than fucking What Remains of Edith Finch. I'm That's just how I feel. I feel it's a far better game. But that's just in my opinion. The Lords of the Fallen. To be honest, I don't fucking know. I've barely played more than like 5% of this game. To be honest, I'm not even saying it's a bad game. I just haven't played it to even fucking know. Mad Max, same. The gameplay is great, but to be honest, I do more of the side missions than actually play the game when I do play it. So I couldn't even fucking tell you about the story. To be honest, I really don't even know what the fuck is going on. Obviously, Madden did have its whole like the longest yard or whatever the fuck it was called. I forget what that shit was called, but it had this like story thing, and that was okay. But for the most part, you know what Madden is. Mafia has its narratives in there, but that's only really comes when you talk to the CIA, detective, and or officer, and what else is there? And then when they talk to like other characters in there about Lincoln Clay. I didn't play Marlo Bruce, so I can't really speak on it. You know what Mass Effect is. That's all narrative. And and it has its gameplay elements as well. But this is to be honest, these right here, these three had the best story though. Like this has the best gameplay, but these have the best story. And it's not even close. Like you play any of one of these, and then you play Mass Effect Andromeda, you'd be like, oh shit. Andromeda plays well. Like the game, like that's what we wanted from Andromeda. We wanted a game that plays well. But the problem is that because of Andromeda it's supposed to be a story. Man, I just didn't give a fuck. Like, you always felt pushed to go do something in the first three. Like I gotta, go forth and kind of hurry up and do this because, the universe depends on me. I never really felt that I had to do anything. Like I felt like, those things were optional. Like, oh, I could go and like fucking stop these alien guys, but I mean, it's not necessarily dire. Like they're not really, as far as we don't really know what they want to do. So right now, I'm just like being told like it's a possibility for me to go and fucking stop them. But yeah, other than killing a fucking a bunch of people here and there, like I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You don't really learn their motives until way later. So it's just like the motivation to stop anybody just wasn't there. Like to be honest, what they should do is remake Mass Effect 1 through 3 and just implement them with the mechanics of Mass Effect Andromeda, and motherfuckers will love it. Because let's be honest, the main reason why people don't necessarily always want to play Mass Effect is because of its fucking mechanics. Not even the graphics. I mean, yeah, it's old, so it doesn't look as good as it could, but the mechanics, bro. Like that should be bouncing with the sniper, and oh my god, this shit is murder. Like Mass Effect, I use a pistol 90% of the time. You know why? Because that shit don't move on you off every 5 seconds. Like that shit is crazy. I use a pistol and I use a shotgun. Assault rifle, it's all right. I use a sniper rifle when I had to from long distances, but man, that was a bitch. It was a bitch to use that motherfucker, man. That shit was like, it's like they should have figured out a better way to it was just hard as hell to fucking snipe motherfuckers because that shit was always bouncing all over the place. That shit was annoying. The Curse of the Brotherhood, good game, narrative. Oh, I'm over here trying to scroll down. Like that's not my Xbox and shit. Phantom Dust. To be honest, I can't really tell you what the fuck's going on. I played a little bit of this game. Gameplay's okay. I just don't like the movements, man. I just never Get Metal Gear just moves so fucking clunky to me. Like it never feels fluid. It feels like he's a fucking robot. Like the way it's like designed for him to move. I don't know, man. I just never liked it, especially compared to like a lot of other games where the movements are just far better. Like I mean, shit. You pick a game, Assassin's Creed, better. Freaking shit. Freaking what's his name runs better? What's that? Not Quantum Break. Quantum Break moves okay, but he's just slow. I mean, I guess in a way. I mean, because Snake can run. But yeah, pretty much everybody else. I mean, the movements are just so like I don't know, robotic. It's like up, down, down, to the floor, up, back. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck who did design these shits? Like, and it's only really that game that plays like that to me, like with those kind of like rigid like movements of up and down and like, man, is there no smoother transition? Why does this feel like this? Let's see. Like Ghost Recon plays way better as far as like the movements of the character, way better than Assassin's Creed. I mean, Metal Gear Solid, like way better. The guy moved like the dude and like the Snake just moves weird as fuck in that game. You do have your narrative in Mortal Kombat. Ooh, excuse me. I beat the game, and I don't really play fighters like that, and Mortal Kombat isn't one of my favorites. Not that it's a bad game, I just don't like the style. It's not my cup of tea. Shadow Mordor, good narrative. Um, I like that. The Nemesis system is what really kind of keeps people playing that shit. The fact that a guy kills you, and you go back and get stronger, and you be like, oh man, this dude talking all that shit. I gotta kill his ass. Like Metro. To be honest, I don't know what the fuck Metro's about. To be honest, I'll tell you, I beat the first one, but I don't know what it's about. I mean, that's just me being honest. I don't know what the fuck Metro's about, other than that I got to shoot giant rats, and there was like a nuclear war. Other than that, and that ending was wild because I was like on drugs or something. But man, I only finished the first one. I didn't do the last light yet. Then you got Mirror's Edge. I heard it was decent, but I have yet to even touch it. It's basketball, so I didn't play Need for Speed yet. It's just sitting there. 99 Nights, played that a long ass time ago. It's all gameplay. Ninja Gaiden, it has its narratives, but it's mainly gameplay. Ori and the Blind Forest has its narratives, mainly gameplay. Outlast is mostly narrative. Cause you do a fuck ton of reading in that bitch. Oxenfree, mostly narrative. I mean, you don't really have no. I mean, you do have gameplay in Outlast, but it's all running. That's you just running and hiding. That's all you do. Run, hide, be able to see where the fuck you going to run and hide to. Oxenfree, it has its little gameplay, but it's it's mostly narrative. Pac-Man gameplay, Exiles gameplay. I mean, it does have its narrative, but it's gameplay. Peggle gameplay, Phantom Dust, narrative and gameplay. PUBG all gameplay. On a great narrative gameplay. Rare replay. Well, that's a lot of stuff going on in there. Rayman Legend gameplay, Record gameplay. I mean, it has a little narrative, but not much. Red Dead Redemption. Actually, I might jump back on this show. This has a lot of narrative and gameplay. Same thing as Resident Evil, narrative and gameplay. That's what makes it so fucking scary. Them motherfuckers always talking to you and shit. Rise and Shine. It's not that long. I think it's about 4 hours. That's a good game, man. Rise and Shine is a good game if you have not played it. Narrative gameplay. Not a ton of narrative, but decent amount. Same thing for Resident Evil. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Got a little bit of narrative, tons of gameplay. Actually, I might want to jump on with Expedition Mode with somebody if they got that show. Rise, it has its narrative. It has its gameplay. I mean, it could have more gameplay elements, but it is what it is. Saints Row. Actually, surprisingly, it does have a decent amount of narrative. It's fucking crazy, but it's there. Sea of Thieves. I don't know. To be honest, I can't tell you. Game's not out yet, but it's definitely got gameplay. Sleeping Dogs took me forever to beat, but it does have a narrative and gameplay. Good game. Same thing here, very similar. No, I don't think there was anything as far as the narrative in the first one, but the second one has this campaign, so you got what you got. State of Decay, another great game, narrative, mostly gameplay. Sunset Overdrive, same thing, some narrative, mostly gameplay. Strider, mainly gameplay. Little Lucky's Tales, mainly gameplay. Killing All gameplay. Borderlands, narrative. Evil Within, narrative and gameplay. The Witcher, the Gods game. Lots of narrative, lots of gameplay. You know, I'm just calling them Telltale games. You know what they are. I don't know what the fuck this game is about. I mean, it has some gameplay in it, but the War of Mines, I ain't beat the shit. I just played like a few minutes of it. I'm like, I don't know. Titanfall, great gameplay. Titanfall 2, a lot of narrative and a lot of gameplay. Like, look, man, the list goes on. You got a lot of shit here, man. I'm not even getting into the shit that I deleted. But yeah, man, you got a strong games, man. Strong games. I just feel like gameplay should be respected more than it is, because the narrative is just like, narrative based games are fine, and I'm not saying we shouldn't have them, but to put them on a pedestal above games that focus on gameplay just seems ridiculous to me. I mean, and that's my personal opinion. People evolve, and what you like before doesn't necessarily mean you'll like it now. Maybe, I don't know, 10 years from now, I won't be a multiplayer person anymore. Maybe I'll just be like, I only care about single player now. Or maybe I only care about puzzle games. You'd be like, yo, if you don't give me a puzzle game, I ain't fucking with it. I only want Peggle 5 or some shit. Like, I'm just saying. Oh, what's this? The movie watching. What we watching? Oh, I think I'm gonna go see Jumanji. Let me see. What we got on here? No, what time? Oh shit, I gotta do my fucking list. All right, but anyway, that was my thoughts on the narrative and the gameplay argument. I mean, you know what? Let me jump back and see what y'all are saying real quick before I jump off of here. Oh Jesus, so this ain't. He said, "What remains of eating fish is garbage." I don't know if it's garbage, but it's okay. Oh yeah, the Ruiner. Yeah, I gotta go finish that too. I don't know how far I am, but I've been playing that shit. I played a decent amount of it. I got to the point where I got the brother, but I don't know if I'm not sure. Like, because I play it and I stop and I play other stuff and I go back and I play it and I stop. So I don't know. I gotta go back and look and see how far I am from actually finishing the game. But from what I played, it's cool. It has a narrative there as well. But it's a lot of gameplay. Let's see. All right, so yeah, hopefully, I can't wait for the next couple of games to come out, man. I mean, Xbox can't do what PlayStation does with these narrative games anyway. Like, Xbox fans don't fuck with that shit. Like, they can't come out with their version of Until Dawn. Like, that shit is not gonna do well on Xbox. Motherfuckers want to play some shit, and preferably have a damn and have multiplayer of some sorts. And I know people be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have." It doesn't have to always have multiplayer. That's true. It doesn't always have to have multiplayer. But if you can do it, then why not? Especially if the game allows for it, like it makes sense for the game to do it, then I say, yeah, fuck it. Why not? You know? But anyway, man, this is your boy Livewire, man. Shout out to Philosopher Doom, Other Zinc, Cyrus Burke, Def Jam Bam, motherfucking my boy Flip, All Days Crazy Ass. Yeah, man, shout out to y'all. I'll holla at y'all later. Be on that Xbox. And there's no GRG today because we are on vacation. But we will be right back at it next Friday, wilding out and saying our wild shit. You know how we do. Anyway, I'll be back on here. Who knows? Not this weekend, but probably on Tuesday. Because Monday I'm taking off. But anyway, this is your boy Livewire. And I'm out this bitch, baby. Peace.